Let's now go across to the management at ICICI Lombard. They declared their numbers. The management is now with us, Mr. Gopal, Chief Financial Officer, Chief Risk Officer at ICICI Lombard General. So thank you so much for taking out time for us. Could you just first start by helping us understand what were the key highlights of the quarter that went by? What were the key hits and misses in the quarter?
Thanks for the question. So if you look at for the quarter gone by, I think it was a satisfying quarter for us, particularly in the context of in this quarter we actually were able to get the final IRDAI approval for the demerger of Bharti AXA into ICICI Lombard, and quite happy to note that the effective date for the transaction was 8th of September. And over the last, let's say, 9 to 12 months that we have been planning for this integration to be in place, I think happy to kind of report that we have been able to successfully, from an operational integration standpoint, we have been able to kind of get the two entities merged into one. And in that sense, I think extremely a satisfying quarter. Having said that, I think if you look at it from a financial standpoint, again, things have been looking good for us. If you look at in terms of gross premiums, we were able to grow for the half year at about 7%. Clearly across commercial lines, health, motor, of course, at this point of time, we continue to take a cautious stand. But overall, I would say a satisfying quarter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Balachandran. This is Cheryl also joining in the conversation. Can you tell us about the key trends that you're actually seeing post the second wave of the COVID-19? Also, how has the recovery been on a month-on-month basis for your company?
No, that's a very, very relevant question, because if you look at let's look at quarter one. I think clearly we have seen even as a country we did experience significant increase in number of COVID cases, and that's the reason if you would have seen our quarter one numbers, we did see a significant spike in the number of COVID case intimations. Pretty much what we saw in one quarter was as good as what we saw for the whole of the last year in FY21 in terms of intimations. Now clearly things seems to be behind us when we look at the quarter two trends, again in line with what you see at a national level. Just to kind of put some numbers in perspective, in quarter one, we had to kind of provide for COVID claims to the tune of almost about 602 crores. This number, if you look at it for a half year now, that number stands revised to about 561 crores on a merged entity, given the fact that I said Bharti AXA is also a part of the ICICI Lombard family. So for this particular quarter, clearly we are seeing declining trend in number of COVID intimations, and we were actually able to get a ride back to the tune of almost about 67 crores in quarter two. So the trend line seems to look positive. Obviously, very difficult to predict what could happen in the future in terms of a possible third wave. But the sense that one gets is, if you look at some of the other evolved countries where vaccination rates have significantly been higher, the extent of cases which goes for hospitalization tends to be on the decline. So overall, I would say the trend line on the COVID intimations seems to be looking on a positive note. Having said that, I think on the non-COVID health claims, particularly in this quarter two, we did see a elevation in the number of claims. It could be possible that some of the customers had possibly postponed their treatments to take place in this particular quarter two, given the uncertainty or anxiety that they had in quarter one. So that's the trend that we will watch for as to whether the significant bump up that we had seen in non-COVID health intimations in quarter two, does that sustain, or is it more a one-off increase in number of customers who have elected to get themselves treated in this quarter?
You have spoken in the past about how there has been a real shift in health insurance trend post the COVID. Can you talk to us about consumer trends shaping up over there? What is the kind of traction you're seeing?
That's a great question, because I think from an ICICI Lombard standpoint, I think we are extremely kind of delighted with the opportunity that the health insurance space presents. And that's the reason why, if you recollect, even in quarter one, what we had kind of announced was to tap into this opportunity of expanded opportunity. We had kind of announced adding almost about 1,000 people to our existing headcount, and all of this 1,000 will go into frontline distribution in order to tap into the health opportunity. So clearly, from an expansion standpoint, we want to continue to stay invested. in order to reap the benefits of what the health insurance space presents. So that's one insofar as distribution is concerned. Equally on the product side, I think again from an ICICI Lombard standpoint, what we have been kind of doing over the last several years is clearly, if you look at the market, largely it was kind of offering a product which kind of reimbursed the cost of hospitalization cover. A large part of the out-of-pocket spends was in that sense not necessarily covered through any form of insurance. And clearly we see trend line picking up in that context, wherein customers increasingly are also looking to put a lot of investments on preventive healthcare as compared to obviously getting themselves treated in the event of an unfortunate health ailment. So in order to seize the opportunity on the OPD front as well, I think we have been investing on building our own app. We call it as the IL Take Care app, which pretty much kind of takes care of the entire gamut of healthcare needs, more from a preventive standpoint in terms of in case if you're required to make a visit to do a health checkup, if you want to get your medicines ordered online, we have a tie-up with the pharmacy chain. So all in all, I think the IL Take Care app enables the customer to take care of their entire gamut of healthcare needs. And some of the pilots that we have done in the past over the last 12 to 15 months, those pilots have clearly shown us encouraging results. Again, happy to note that the number of downloads that we have seen on use of the IL Take Care app, as we speak, has crossed about 8,80,000 in number. And that's an area where we are continuing to stay invested. So overall, I think we are extremely excited with the opportunity that the health insurance segment is presenting. And we are investing both in terms of expansion and distribution, and at the same time, the innovation that we can bring about in so far as the product construct is concerned.
In H1, actually, you would have seen a rise in claims. Your combined ratio is at 114%. Could you tell us more about your assessment of the claims ratio? Is it largely driven by the COVID-related health claims? And also, do you see where do you see it actually normalizing going ahead?
Sure, I think that's again a great question. So let me just kind of break down the impact of the loss ratios between the combined ratios between the couple of quarters. You are right. I think if you look at quarter one, we kind of reported roughly about 120 to 123% combined ratios for the company as a whole. And within that, if you would have seen, particularly COVID claims was at its peak. On the health side, we kind of reported a loss ratio which was between 168 to 170%. That's the quarter one numbers. Now, if you look at quarter two, against the 122-123% that we reported as a combined ratio for the company as a whole, in quarter two that number stands revised to about 105.3%. And within that, if you were to look at the health segment, in line with what I had talked about, of the fact that clearly COVID trends seems to be on the decline, non-COVID however seems to show some kind of an increase. The loss ratios for quarter two on the health segment has come down from 168-170% to about 78%. This of course includes, as I said, the write back of about 67 crores that we were able to see in quarter two, given the fact that we had conservatively estimated for loss results in Q1. On a steady state, I think what we could expect is, I think insofar as the trend line of non-COVID health intimations is something that we will keep a watch on. And hence, to that extent, we could possibly, at least for let's say maybe the next quarter, see the loss ratios of health slightly on the higher side, given the fact of the write back that we had in quarter two. But at the same time, what we have been effecting is price revisions, particularly on the corporate health segment, which we had talked about even as a part of our Q1 earnings call, wherein we exhibited price increases ranging between 15 to 20% and upwards. And clearly we are seeing that trend line continue even in this quarter. And happy to note from an ICICI Lombard standpoint that even on the corporate renewals, even with the increased pricing, we have been able to retain more than 90% of the accounts when it came up for renewals. But the impact of the increased pricing on the loss ratios is something that will play through over the next 3 or 4 quarters. So hence, to answer your point, maybe in the immediate foreseeable quarter, you could actually see some kind of increase in the health loss ratios numbers. But as we move along into the next, let's say 3 or 4 quarters, the benefit of increased pricing will start to play through, and we should start seeing health loss ratios getting normalized.
Sir, for taking out time for us. On that note, we're taking a break. Very mixed cues for the market. Sensex 20 points higher.